Recording this.
Yeah, over to you.
Thank you, Mukesh. First of all, thank you guys for taking the time out to join this call. My name is Manoj Batra and I'll be your host for this session. So, very quickly, I'll first start with the introduction and then I'll tell you the agenda for this call. So, as you know, my name is Manoj Batra and it's been, I guess, around 14 years since I joined the IT industry, and I'm currently working with one of the largest bank in UK in the RPA domain. And I'm also awarded as three-time UiPath MVP and also a five-time hackathon winner. And I guess the agenda for today's session is quite interesting. I guess you must have heard about this term before as well, called automation cloud robots, which is a kind of a new offering by UiPath. So without further ado, let me just share my screen with you. So let me just do that now. Uh, Can you see my screen now?
Yes, Manoj, we can see your screen.
Let me just enable my slideshow from the beginning. Okay. So today's session is about automation cloud robots. And as you know about me, I've already given you a small intro about myself. And the agenda for today is, first we'll discuss about what is automation cloud robot, why it is necessary to have ACR in your infra, what are the different types of offerings we have, what is the currency for this automation cloud robots. Then we'll do a kind of a demo or hands-on on setting up cloud robots, both serverless and cloud VM, and followed by what's coming next in the upcoming versions, followed by the Q&A. So as you already know, in the UiPath Automation Cloud, this is the new offering. We have got public cloud self-managed, or you can also host UiPath Cloud on your on-prem as well. So these are the four offerings now that at the moment now we have. So what are automation cloud robots and why it is required? So as I mentioned before, it is a new offering by UiPath. The benefit of this offering is you don't have to care about any kind of infrastructure. So because you must have faced infrastructure challenge before. So with the help of automation cloud robots, you can overcome so many things, and it comes in various flavor as well. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you is, so there are two flavors for automation cloud robots. One is a cloud VM, the other one is serverless robot. And with this, you can actually set up everything. So it is a kind of a SaaS offering where you don't need any kind of infrastructure, means no infra is required. UiPath will take care of everything, be it your infra, be it your robot, be it a kind of any kind of a upgrade, any kind of a thing. UiPath will take care of that. Also, in your on-prem, or if you're hosting it on your public cloud, you would need AWS subscription, Azure subscription, or any other cloud subscription. But in this, no subscription is required. UiPath will take care of that. And these are enterprise ready with SOC 2, Type 2, and HIPAA Type 2 attestation, which is a good thing. Again, auto updates to robots, assistants, machines, and everything. Along with that, as it is being managed by the at the orchestrator level, so you have complete visibility where you can go into the orchestrator, see the alerts, set the alerts, see the logs for your troubleshooting purposes. Since this is being managed by UiPath, so no IT resources required. You just need to orchestrator and set up your cloud robot there, and it will be done automatically. The other big advantage of this is it is highly customizable and scalable, which means sometimes you need to uh, upscale or downscale your automations or your infra based on the requirement. So you can easily do these things. It does kind of a automatic VMs management, so there is no hassle. You can create custom images to support and configure different type of VMs whenever required. And the other benefit that I would like to basically call out here is, which is the kind of I would say biggest benefit, like domain join. So if you want to connect with this with your domain, your site, you can easily do that with your Azure AD or any kind of a domain join credentials. And along with that, you can also log into cloud VMs. It is a similar kind of a machine, a Windows machine, and you can do a kind of a software installation, create a base image, and then apply it to all others. Along with that, you can also see the live streaming, and it can also record the jobs for you for all the automation. So I will see that later how we can actually do that. And the other thing is about the serverless cloud robots. Again, this is the second one which UiPath offers to us. This is similar to your VM, but the functionality is a bit different. This, so again, here UiPath takes care of everything, be it your infrastructure and robots. Uh, no need to basically worry about anything here. The advantage is it is designed to run cross-platform automation. So if you are working on any kind of a API stuff, web stuff, or any kind of a database calling behind in the background, so maybe you can use this serverless automation cloud robots there. Again, configuration is not required. You have got access to both test environment and your prod environment, and it is being charged at the execution level. So whenever you run a particular process, some of the amount. So I'll talk, basically in the later part of this demo, I'll talk you on this the currency for this automation cloud robots. So the currency will be deducted. Along with that, as I mentioned earlier, site-to-site VPN connection, where you can connect your own network, you can run maximum 50 jobs in parallel. And similar to your cloud VM, live streaming and job recording for all automation is also there. And it can be easily managed with the help of your orchestrator. So this is serverless automation for you. And the first offering was the cloud VM. So this was the two offering provided by UiPath. Now the next slide is, why do we need that? So we have already basically touched upon some part of it. So first thing is low infra setup. So in your current environment, if you are doing a kind of a installation at your end, so yes, the time is required. So if you do this, you can do that very quickly within just matter of 5 to 10 minutes. You can easily set up the infra. Along with that, it is scalable. You can upscale it, you can downscale it whenever required because it is a cloud first model. The operating cost is bit less compared to your infrastructure because you would need dedicated person who will actually you can do all those tasks for you. Here UiPath will take care of everything and the amount will be deducted from your currency. Next thing is it is enterprise ready ability. So you have got so many features and other things available with these offerings. Next, we have the currency. So as I said earlier, uh, the currency here is a bit different. Earlier, you need to procure either attended license or unattended license for your robots. But here, the currency for automation cloud robots is robot units. And I'm pretty sure the guys who have worked on Studio Web are basically kind of familiar with this robot units, RUs. So this is the basically you can call it the currency for automation cloud robots. So the currency used to procure UiPath ACR is RU, and it is used with both with VM, cloud VM, and the serverless ACR. So for this cloud VM, this generally gets sold into a bundle. So if you want to go for any kind of a SaaS-based offering on the UiPath side, so and you need to basically do an annual commitment with them, and you will get 72,000 RU for 1 year. So this is the annual commitment that you need to do, which means if you divide 72,000 RU, so you will get close to exact 6,000 RUs RU unit per month for usage. And the other thing is, if you don't use RUs within due time, it will be expired automatically. So it doesn't get a rollover to the next month. So next month you will get a new set of RU. Again, this RU can be consumed across multiple domains with different VM sizes, with different cloud version, with different kind of a customization, which we'll see later. And again, VM cloud robots consume robot units per month, whereas the serverless robots charges the RUs per execution. So this is the basic difference. In the RU for your cloud VM, you will be charged on a monthly basis. So it will be kind of how you can easily consider this as a postpaid plan, but you will get all the credits in advance. So if you don't use that 6,000 RUs, and it will not be carried over to the next month. So you will get a new 6,000 units in the following month. Whereas for the serverless cloud robots, the amount gets deducted per execution run. And we'll see this in the later part of this demo, how this gets deducted. So these are the two things where particular things come handy. And if I basically normal talks about the cost, so roughly, so these are the rough numbers. These are not the actual number, and the prices may vary depending on your organization size, your geographical location, and other factors. So roughly the figure is around for a unattended robot license is 10K per year, whereas for ACR it is 14.4K a year. Now you would say the cost for ACR is more than the normal cloud version robots where you have your own infra and all. So this is just the cost. Here we are actually not including the cost of person who is basically managing everything at your end, be it a kind of a IT guy or any kind of a support person. Here we are also not considering the subscription for the cloud, could be your AWS, Google Cloud, or Azure, and any cloud. So here we are not considering that. So if I give you a kind of a brief on how this gets calculated, and we will also see that in demo. So these are the robot units. So on the left side, on the extreme left, we have got ACR VM production. So which means how much robot units will get charged from your account. So if you use for production, if you use the small size with 2 CPU and 16 GB, 5,000 robot units will be deducted from your account. Whereas for standard, it is 6,000. For medium with 8 CPUs, 7.5. For large, it is 10K. Similarly, for ACR, for serverless production, small is just 1 unit per execution. Standard is 2. Medium is 4. And large is 10. And for test environment, it is bit cheaper. So same specs with small, whereas for the production it was 5,000, but for ACR test you just need to pay 2,000. Similarly for standard it is 3,000, medium with 5.5, and large is 9K. And if I compare now serverless test with serverless prod, so small will cost you half, 0.5. Standard is again half, and so is your medium and large. So you have to pay less if you're testing this on your staging environment or on your testing environment. So this is about the serverless robot, how it works, and what are the costs involved. Now I'll show you a quick demo on how you can set up first the cloud VM. Then we will learn how we can set up the serverless robots. So let me just stop this now and move to UiPath. I hope this screen is also visible to you.
Yes, Manoj. Yeah, visible. We can see your orchestrator.
Okay. So here I'm using the UiPath staging environment, though I have got some limited functionality, but I'll show you how you can create that. But before I show you how you can create ACR for both serverless and VM, let me first show you how you can actually assign or how you actually get the robot unit. So if I click here and go to admin section under licenses, I can see that if I go here, I have got 600,000 robot units assigned for my whole tenant. Now, what I need to do is I just need to assign. Let's suppose I've got on the left, you can see we have got two tenants. One is your default one and test two. So for default tenant, I just need to assign some RU units to it, which I've already done before the demo just to save the time. But I can show you how you can actually assign those licenses. So if you see here, I have got 90,000 license, 90,000 RUs out of 600K. And as a part of org admin, if you want to increase or decrease the robot units, you can easily do that with the help of this button, edit allocation, where you can see that 90,000 units have been assigned to me. 366,000 are available for allocation, means it is available, but it has not been assigned to any tenant. 79,004 units have been consumed and 144 is allocated across other tenants except this, and 600 was the total number. So here you can just change the numbers depending on if you need more or less, depending on your on your requirement, you can do that. Now, how you can create a cloud VM? So for that, first you need to go to orchestrator. Now it's open up. Yep. So this is the default screen of my orchestrator. Here, the first thing that you need to do here is go to tenant, and on the top menu, you can see the machines option. So I'll go ahead and click machines here. In the machine section, you can see I have got few robots, few different type of machines. And in order to create a cloud VM, I'll click on this add machine option. And in this, you can see that we have got now two new features. One is a cloud VM, the other one is cloud robot serverless. So first, I'll go ahead and create the cloud VM. Let me just hit click now. So this is first screen where I need to give some name and description of that. So let me just give name community demo robot. Description is not a mandatory field. Here on the right, you can see that we have got machine management details. And you can see that we have got two options here. One is automatic, the other one is manual. So, and you can also see the description bottom as well. So if you go with automatic, so in that case, everything is will be managed by UiPath only. So means they will create that and delete automatically. The only challenge with this approach is the changes that you made on your machine are not persistent. So you can do a RDP and everything and install this, but the changes that you made are not persistent. Whereas if you choose manual one, you can see that the customized machines are persistent. That means the changes that you are going to save on your machine will be persistent and will not be deleted. Along with that, if you go with manual approach, you need to both create and delete machines at the user level. Whereas the automatic part, it will be managed automatically by the UI part. So for this demo purposes, I'll go ahead and select the manual one. And the second part of this is the main part of creating a cloud VM. So on the left hand side, the first option is the VM details, where we need to select the environment. So we have got two types of environment, production and test. I've already shown you earlier that for production, the RU units per month would be different, and for test, it is again at a different cost. So if I select production, now I've got 4 types of VM. One is small, standard, medium, and large. So I'll go ahead and select a standard machine for myself. Now the next option is machine image. Here UiPath offers us 2 different type of machine. One is a Windows Server and other is a desktop. So if you want to go for a desktop one, here you will get Windows 10 2022 Pro version, and UiPath uh, extension will be installed on all the supported browsers. And so let's suppose if you want to go ahead with Windows Server, here I guess it is 2019, and again the extensions, UiPath extensions will be installed on all the supported browsers. I'll go ahead and click this one. And the next option that you can see here is a customize option. So customize, we'll see that later, but customize is if you basically create any machine and install some set of software there, like for your automation, you might need 5 or 7 set of softwares that is required for your automation to run. So you can actually create an image, save it to a location, and then use it in your automation. As you can see, at the moment, I don't have any image, but I think I have one for desktop. Let's see if I have. Yes, I have this uh, Office 365 AD join image, but I'll not use that. I'll use this standard machine and Windows Server 2019. So this is the image. Means 2019 server will be installed on my machine, Windows Server. Next comes your IP address. This comes handy because we have got 2 types of IP allocation. One is a dynamic and the other one is static. Dynamic means after every reboot, your IP address will get changed. Whereas in some automation, and I guess you guys have must seen that you would need a kind of a static IP where you just ask your IT team to whitelist if you're working with domain join and just work on a range of IP. So in that case, you can use the static option. That case, IP will not be changed, but dynamic, it will be changed after every reboot. So next option is the machine availability profile. So here again, we have got 3 options: balanced, fast, and always. So, and again, on the basis of that, some of the RU unit will be deducted from my machine. So balance means if I uh, a mouse over here, so you can see that the machine will be automatically goes into the idle state after 30 minutes if it is a balance profile. So that means if you don't use your machine for a 30 minutes period, it will go into the idle state. And for fast, it is 60 minutes. But whereas if you choose always, your machine will never get shut down. Which means if I change the fast position, so you can see the cost breakdown here on the right. At the moment, it is 6,000 RU units. There is no additional runtime, nothing. I have selected balance machine profile availability. But if I change it to fast, you can see that 500 units has been added to my account for selecting this fast option. Whereas if I go with always, the number is bit higher. So it will be 7,000. 6,000 for standard size, 1,000 for the always profile, where your machine will not get shut down. But if I choose balance, which means my machine will go into the idle state and no additional amount will get deducted. So consider this while creating your robot. And other option is how many ACR you want to run per machine. So at the moment it is 1 and additional is 0. So if I change to 2, let me just change the number for now. If I change to 2, you can see that 5,000 RU again has been added. So total RU is 11,000. If I change it to 3, so it is a multiple of 5,000. But for now, I'll select just one robot per machine. So this was my part 2. where I set up all the VMs. The third and other important step in this is the pool configuration. The pool configuration, as you can see here, you have got two options here. One is enable maintenance window, and the other one is enable VPN integration. So VPN integration we'll see in the later part of this course. But if you click on this enable maintenance window, which means if you do a kind of a any kind of a maintenance activity on your machine, be it a kind of a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, or just you just want to do it once. So you can select the time zone here. Here we have got a recurrence, just once, weekly, monthly. If it is just once, so you just need to set the date and time. You also need to select the downtime like 4 hours, 2 hours, 1 hours. Just the least value is 2 hours. So you can select here. If it is weekly, then you need to tell, okay, the week number, monthly, monthly date, yearly, to set a date and month of this. And along with that, if you see at the bottom right, there is a checkbox which tells you till running process when the window begins. So this is a very important thing here. Why? Because sometimes you don't want to kill your processes when this maintenance window gets started. So in that case, if you don't select this, that means if your automation is running, your maintenance window will not be opened. Means your bot or your orchestrator will not go into the maintenance mode. Whereas if you click on this kill running process, so all your automation running on the Windows machine will be killed automatically at the orchestrator level. So you can decide if you want to go ahead with that or not. And so for the moment, I'll skip that. I don't need any maintenance window. Next is VPN integration. So if you have created any kind of a cross domain thing, which I'll show you later, so you can just address. Sorry, just put the address here and just create the machine as domain join pool. It's in preview mode, but you can do that. So I just disable that. So next now, so okay, there was some issue. So if I click finish here, so you will see a message here. Cloud template community demo robot has already been created. So let me search for that. That was the right name. Yes. So now I'll go to more actions and now click on add or manage view. So if you see here, you can see all the options that I choose earlier, like pool type as manual, ACR per machine was one, maintenance window, there was no maintenance window, profile was balanced, I used for production, IP address was dynamic, but the robot unit is still 0. How? That means the machine is still not in use and I need to add a VM here. And to do this, I need to add a VM here. I'll click on this link and we'll give the same name. You can choose any other name. I'll give my user ID and password. Hoping, yes. So I just need to set up a user here and click on provision. Yes, I want to create one VM here. So now if you see here, the machine status is provisioning. So that means behind the scene, UiPath is provisioning my machine with those credentials. And now the actual RU here is, which was 0 before, is 6,000 per month. So this might take some time to actually provision. It might take sometimes 3 minutes, sometimes 5 to 7 minutes, depending on the availability. So just to save the time, I've already created a machine before. We just go ahead and for different scene now. I guess the name was test VM by test VM2. So if I open this, you can see that it is the same like this one. It has got a name whose name is not there because the machine has not been provisioned. Except job is still false for the same reason our RDP is also false. And here, since the machine is provisioned, we have got the host name, it is running. Why it is running? Because the machine availability profile is always. That means the machine doesn't get shut down by UiPath auto. Then except job is enabled. In case if it is disabled, so what you need to do here is just click on this thing and enable this. Click on this enable job, and if you want to disable this, so if you disable this, in that case, your robot will not pick any process, even you trigger it from orchestra. So that's how you can actually uh, set up or configure these things at the machine level. Here the RDP is disabled, but if you want to enable it, you can click on enable remote desktop. At the moment, it will not work because this is a domain join thing, and I'm connected to the UiPath staging environment and I'm logging from my home, so this thing will not work. But if you are on your environment, you can do that very easily. And the other one is reset admin account. So you have seen that I've created one account. If you forgot the password, and so you can basically reset the admin account here. The third option here is capture image, which is disabled at the moment. Why it is disabled? Because for the running machine, we can't capture the image. But if it is stopped, then you can capture the image and it will be saved into your settings. I'll show that later. And if you want to see the logs, you can see the logs anytime. So this is all about your VM. Now I'm going to tell you how you can actually run a process on this VM. So the VM name is test VM underscore demo, test VM2 demo. So now I'll go to tenant again. And again, to save the time, I've already created a test robot account for you. You can see that under robots. So if I go to UiPath machines folders, you can see that I've already assigned a robot role to it. And again, the other important thing to notice here is if you go to this unattended setup option, you can see few settings there related to foreground automation settings. So there are two options. Either you can use the VM pre-configured Windows user account to run the UiPath process, which means the credentials that I have set while set up this VM where I use this add VM. I choose a username password. You can use that, or you can use a specific Windows user account where you can set a domain credentials. You can choose a credential store. You can type a password, a type, and everything. You can do it at this level as well. And third one was the normal your uh, orchestrator robot settings. I'll not make any changes to it. So this is already been created. So the next thing is how you can actually add that VM to your folder. Let me just see if that has been provisioned or not. So I have got a host name, but it is still in provisioning state. So again, we'll wait for a couple of more minutes. So I'll show you how you can actually add that with a different different robot that I created earlier. So you just need to go to machines, click on manage machines in a folder, and it will, let me just change the size now. So it will show you all the robots that are assigned and all the robots that are available to be added to your folder. So you can just select any robot here. I guess test VM2 is already attached. Not test VM2. Let's just check that and on update. So that's how. Sorry, that was straightforward. That's how you can actually add test VM or any machine to your folder. Very simple. Now the next thing is, so now my robot is also running. So we'll also go ahead and see that if this is available or not. So again, I'll go to machines, click on manage, click on community, I guess. Community robot. I'll go ahead and click on update. It will be added automatically by fold. So this was about how to add a machine to a folder. The next thing that I'm going to tell you how you can actually run a process. But before run a process, I showed few things to you, like how you can actually record the streaming, and you can also view the recording later. So to do this, I've already created few processes and will show you how you can actually configure all these stuff within your AV. So to do this, you can see we have already got a process in place. I've already uploaded a package before. And in order to do this, first you need to do is need to go to the additional setting option here. So these are some basic stuff you already, I am assuming that you already know that. This is the most interesting part here. So this one is job recording, and the other one is allow live streaming. So you need to enable this option if you need to kind of record your job. Here, the recording type could be your video, it could be a screenshot, and in the video recording, we have got three options. The first option is you will only record and store the failed jobs. The other option is you can only record and store failed queue transaction items. And the third one is you need to record all the jobs. So that is up to you. And the other option is if you want to basically see a kind of a live streaming, then you can also go ahead and allow the live streaming, and you can just do that. We'll see that later. The last option here is allow remote control when live streaming. So which means you can also do a kind of a remote control, means you can basically get the controls of that remote machine when the robot is running. And we'll also see that how we can do that. I'll just click on update here for now, and we'll run this process. So I guess this is enabled, and I just need to click on enable jobs for now. It's enabling. I guess it will take seconds. So meanwhile, what I can do is I can just start a process. So here it is demo cloud VM, process name. The runtime should be cloud VM. You can select any job priority here, but the runtime here should be cloud VM. Account, I have already created a test account. So if you want to go ahead and select that, since it is just one account, so I'm just going ahead and select that. If you don't want to do that, so it will pick any user robot account. The other one was the machine. So our machine name was test VM2, which was available. So I'll just go ahead and click start here. As you can see, it has been started now. And if I go here and click on open live stream, and parallelly, I'll also open the logs here. So here, what I'm doing is I'm just opening the Bank of England website and getting the uh, current value here of the Australian dollar, whatever is listed here. So I'm just doing that. As you can see here, this additional or use of cookies pop-up is here. So if I need to just disable it, so what I need to do is I can take a remote control and click on accept recommended cookies. You can see that it has now disappeared. If I can also click on this thing, I can do anything here. So that's how you can actually take the remote control and do anything which might required as per your automation. So you can also do that in the event of any failure or any kind of a debugging to your process. You can do that very easily. Similarly, we can also see the logs as well. So whatever it is uh, showing, you can see all those things in the logs here as well. So I guess this will take few couple of more seconds to complete. So once this gets completed, what you can do is you can actually, let me just jobs again. What you can do is you can see the recording as well. So if you miss the live stream, that is fine because sometimes live stream may take some time to appear. So if you miss the starting part of it, don't worry about that. You can watch the recording. So because we have set the recording for all the processes, so here the recording would appear here. So let this Lira, I guess first. So I'm assuming that now you have got a kind of understanding of how this thing works. You can see that now this live streaming has stopped. You can close the window and back to previous page. And now you can see the open recording option is already there. So if you miss that, you can also see that. Very simple. And again, you didn't do anything. All the infra part and everything will be taken care by UiPath. Recording and everything will get stored on UiPath server. So this is quite easy. So this was uh, the initial screen and then the automation started. So you can see that it took around 2 minutes 11 seconds to complete, but I'll not basically run the entire video because you have already seen that. So this is how you can actually create a cloud VM. So this was the part one of your ACR. Now we'll go ahead and see how we can actually create a serverless robot. So as you can see here for the cloud VM, we would need a Windows where we need to pass credentials, where we do kind of RDPs and all. This was required. For cloud VM, we don't need anything. And one more thing I forgot to tell you. So if you do a kind of a remote desktop and if you manage to go through that, so you can do a RDP and install your software there. Now coming back to your cloud robot serverless, the process is very straightforward. It is way easier than your creating a cloud robot here. So just need to again go to orchestrator, tenants, machines, add machines, click on cloud robot serverless. Just give it a uh, template name, community demo, serverless, and at the moment I'm not changing any parameter here. On the right hand, sorry, on the right hand side of the screen, you can see that you have already shown this picture. You have already seen that picture before. So one was for RU for production, one 0.5 for testing, and same goes for standard, medium, and large. So I'll just don't change anything here. Again, VPN setup is there. It is similar to what we have seen earlier. So you can also do that. But I'll not make any changes here. So save the time and click on provision. And there you go. My cloud robot serverless is ready now. Now the next thing again I need to do is I just need to attach this to my folder. I'll go to my folder, shared folder. I'll go to machines, manage, and will search for community demo serverless. If you see here, this option is disabled, which means you cannot add it because I'm assuming that already a serverless robot is assigned to this particular folder. So first I need to unassign it. So first I need to do this, click on update. Then I again need to go there and select the community one. So which means a folder can have only one serverless where you can have multiple VMs, but ACR serverless can have only one per folder. So this is how you configure your process. So again, you can see that under machines, this would appear the community demo. Just yeah, community demo robot and community demo serverless. Both the robots are there. Again, running the jobs on community demo serverless is quite easy. I'll go to again my folder, automations or processes. So this is the serverless process again I have created. I just need to click on this. So if you see here, the runtime has got now changed. It is now cloud serverless. Account, anything, machine, anything, because machine, there will be only one machine for serverless. Account, I've already created a test account for that. Here, you can see here, I have already told you before that we can run maximum 15 processes parallelly. So for the demo, I'll just set it for 10. So 10 process will run on this machine parallelly. So if I hit start, we'll see all the 10 process now have got executed on the serverless machine. Means all the processes are running parallel. Again, it will take few more seconds to complete. Again, live streaming, recording, all the options are there, which you have seen for your cloud VM. If I open a live, I guess live stream will not work in this case because this was, I used all the APIs here. I did not use any kind of a web. So this will not work for now. But yeah, if you use any kind of a web automation or any kind of a automation which was some kind of a UI, you will definitely see that on this page. So let's wait few more seconds to complete this job. I see the log is still running. So jobs again still running. So you can see that all the jobs have now been completed. Now, if you see here, you can see all the details here, but you can see one additional field, consumed robot units and the robot sites. So robot site it picked automatically, and for the production one, it was 4 RUs. So 4 RUs will be deducted from your account automatically. And how you can see that? You can again go to your admin page, go to folder and see all this RUs units got consumed. Again, you can see the open recording. For not happy with the recording, you can delete that. So all the things are quite common here. So this is about the serverless process, which is basically quite easy than setting up this cloud VM. But both the processes are handy because if you create these things at your end with your infra, then you need to have all the subscriptions and you need to install the softwares and everything. But here, this can be easily done in a matter of 5 to 7 minutes. So this was about the ACR and part which I discussed with you, this cloud serverless robot. The other thing I want to basically I missed that was related to VPN gateway. So if you want to kind of a domain join to your domain, what you can do is you can go to the admin option. So tenant option, gateways. Here you can see that the gateway is already configured, and I'll not change anything here because I'm on the setting UiPath. So here you can just add a connection and just basically provide all the details and then map it to your gateway. So that is very easy. And one more thing, uh, just that orchestrator again. So I guess we have already configured one machine before. So let me show you how that machine looks. So if I go to machines, machine was VPN gateway test. So if you see here, one extra field is also there, which means the VPN status is connected. That means this machine is connected to that VPN. And again, all the things you can do here, you can do a enable report desktop, capture the image. So if you capture the image now, one image will be created automatically and will be saved at the settings. So if I go to settings now, under settings, you can see an option here, cloud robot image. And this was the image that we created. So the image would be beneficial if you need to install multiple softwares on a machine and on multiple machines. So you can just install that on one machine, create the image and use the image as a reference to all the new bot machines that where you are configuring. So that is quite easy. So let me now get back to the slides again. So demo, we have already seen that. And the next part is, again, I need to. So what are the use cases for ACR? Again, it it is fit for every type of business, be it a small business, medium business, large business, any kind of a domain, any kind of a department. It fits for all. But again, one thing I would like to highlight here for VM, you can do all your stuff because there's a kind of a machine, Windows machine there. So whatever you do on your Windows machine, you can do there. But for the serverless, all the backend operations can work seamlessly. So these are the use cases for ACR, serverless, browser automation, AI automations, where you need to process the data in the higher volumes. So you can run 50 jobs concurrently. So you can use serverless robot here. This is one of the example, like you need to get the details from Coupa, the Adobe APIs, then call the Outlook API, then again call the Coupa and NetSuite, and just do all your stuff. So this is because we have already got integration services in place, so you just create your connection and use uh, this as a use case for automation cloud robots. I guess I've already explained you the use case where you need to kind of install a software and do all those stuffs. So that is all about the demo. If you have got any questions, anything you would like to ask, you can ask it now. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Manoj. So we have got a couple of questions on the chat, right? So I have answered some of them, but I'll just ask the people to unmute themselves. So one question is from Elson, who says that if the company website can be accessed via internet, can he still use the VM machine? So
The company, sorry.
okay, so there is a website which is his company website, which is accessible only on intranet, right? So he created a VM using this, whatever we have shown, right? Can he use that VM inside his intranet?
The short answer is yes. So you need to have this domain join, and after domain join, it will be connected to your company, and then you can use it. And I guess there is one more page I can show you where it will actually tell you how this works. So what you need to do is you need to go to this page where you. This is basically very beautifully explained here. Create a VPN gateway, how this VPN works, how you can actually map this with your domain, and how you can access all the internet. So all things are mentioned here. Maybe I can just post this into the chat and you can take a reference here.
Thank you, Manoj. We got it. Okay, so the next question was from Amit, where he says that as soon as we create the machine, the host names were automatically created, right? We do not provide the host name, right? It was automatically generated, correct? Great. Can we run UI automation on serverless?
UI automations, only browser automations.
Yes.
Yeah. Only
Okay.
browser is
So,
the UI
yeah.
can could be everything.
Any right. So there is one more question from Navya, which is like you have shown that. So I know once you had asked the question, it's not a complete, but I'll give you the context, right? So when you are creating the VM, right there, you had an option where I can actually shut down and put it on the update, right? So let's say there is a job which is scheduled on that machine, 9 a.m. in the morning, 8 a.m. in the morning, the machine got shut down, or maybe went into update, right? What happens to the job? So I have given an answer that the job would automatically marked as pending, as orchestrator will do, because machine is not available. As soon as it's available, it will resume the job, right? But
Yeah, you
now the follow-up question is, if you trigger the job, the machine is off, the cloud VM will automatically go into the VM and then it will log in or run the job. So
in
that
that case
never, yeah,
the best way is to choose the profile as always. So in
exactly.
that case, your machine is always up and running and it will pick all the jobs.
Great. So Navya, I hope that answers. In case not, you can just unmute yourself and get
You
more
can also
clarity.
try that
Yeah.
at your end because
Yeah.
is also limited on this. This is a very new thing offered
Yeah,
by you. So maybe you can try all these things and share your feedback with us if you want
great.
to implement such kind of talent.
Okay, so yeah, Kunal has a question, how it is different from Azure?
Azure means your own Azure, right? So on Azure, you first need to buy a subscription, and then you need to install UiPath Orchestrator there. Then you need to have all the licenses in place, and you need to have this uh, Kibana, Elasticsearch, and everything just to set up everything.
Orchestrator.
Yeah,
You
Orchestrator,
need
and
to
then
set up orchestrator, right? Yeah, so
yeah,
yeah, there
every,
is a, yeah, you are able to see the chat, Manoj, right? So there is a question from Whittle which says that, is cost charge only for successful job or the failed one? Interesting.
yeah, but it is for even it is a successful job or job got faulted or job is still in not means there's some issue appearing. So yes, it will be charged for all type of.
Great. So that covers all the questions from the chat. Guys, if you have any more questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask the queries, right? And meanwhile, you are doing that, right? I have one quick thing to share, right? You guys can use the chat if you are not comfortable speaking. Manoj is looking at the chats. Okay, I'll just share my screen, guys. So, Manoj, I'm just sharing my screen.
Software.
Okay. So guys, this session was a part of our Delhi NCR, right? So I hope you guys are already part of that. Next, this was the session UiPath Cloud Automation Robots. The recording would be available here. Next week, we are having two sessions where we are exploring the database integration with UiPath. We are looking into both from SQL Server and the PostgreSQL. And then next session is more about integrating and creating some of the use cases. So this is a series. As of now, only two events are there. So we would be putting more events in the series, right? I'll post the links in the description so that you guys can RSVP and join the Delhi events as well. And in case you want to appear as a speaker, all you have to do is just drop me an email. You can find me over the LinkedIn, anywhere, right? So I have put my and Manoj details already in the chat. I'll post it again. Happy to connect. And if you have any question, please unmute yourself and ask it.
Yeah, hi Manoj, I have a question. While provisioning the VM, we have automatic and manual. So in the automatic, if we provision that, we'll get the option to add the virtual machine in that also, or else it is automatically created.
You will get the options to create those VMs, but only thing is this VM creation and everything will be done at the UiPath level. So you don't have any control on that. And the other thing I would like to mention here is, so if you made any kind of a change that you want to be persistent on that, so automatic is not the right option. So if you want to have any kind of a persistent thing on your machine, then go with manual. But if you think that okay, your machine can completely reboot with deleting everything, so go ahead with this automatic option where the changes are actually not persistent. So
Oh,
everything is being taken care by UiPath only.
okay. Thanks, Manoj.
Okay, so just a request, guys, in case you have liked the session, and I can see that some of you have liked the messages. Thank you for this wonderful session, right? Feel free to share your feedback. We'd appreciate your feedback on the session. You can tag Manoj while posting about LinkedIn, any learnings, any feedback on the session, right? You can write to myself, or you can reach out to directly Manoj, very much approachable over LinkedIn. Amit has a question on the CI/CD. As of now, no RSVP link, Amit, for the CI/CD, but I can take it maybe in the consideration. And if we get speakers, happy to have a session, right? You just have to follow this chapter, but you can just do a UiPath community YouTube channel. There you would find something on the CI/CD definitely. And again, in case you also want to be a speaker, you have something new to present, happy to host you guys as well. Great. Any more questions, guys? Okay, awesome. We'll wait for your feedbacks, and thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Manoj, for this wonderful session. It was great hosting you. See you guys soon in the next database events in the Delhi chapter.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys. Have a good day.